What's up, guys? Damon here, coach of the Cincinnati Regigigas, bringing you my Week 4 team builder versus Ty in the Atlanta Braviary. Now, you may have noticed the channel has been silent for the past few weeks. I was unable to record Boo's match and Oz's match due to time circumstances. However, they were very good matches. I beat Boo 1-0, and then we proceeded to 6-0 Oz specifically by the use of Stealth Rocks. I'm going to try and leave the replays in the description if you'd like to check them out. But on to this week's team builder. This week we were playing Ty, coach of the Atlanta Braviary. You can see his team on the right, my team on the left. It's a pretty even matchup. Main threats on his team include the Rotom Heat because of full switch action. I'm very weak to electric types. And Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir kind of scares me, and I'm not bringing Mega Latias last week because of that Gardevoir, which kind of takes away my only effective counter, which is that Rotom Heat. So, looked for that to be a big problem, but Frogadier could also be an issue, but I'm honestly not too worried about it, as the damage it has is not too high. On to the actual team builder. As you can see, my first Pokemon is Victini. I would not come without it. Special, the Blue Flare Energy Ball, Focus Blast, and Psyshock. I don't believe he'll bring Gastrodon this week, but I need the Energy Ball there just in case, especially considering Physical Victini does not have a grass type move, and if he thinks I'm bringing Physical Victini, then he may bring Gastrodon as a physical wall. Therefore, that Energy Ball is there just there. Psyshock also does some decent damage if he decides to send out a special. Wall. Alrighty. Pretty standard set. Expert Belt just to increase damage. The Expert Belt will also help in taking care of Superior if anything gets funny. And a little known fact, when the Gardevoir Mega evolves Hyper Voice, it becomes Fairy type and Fire Resist Fairy type. So therefore, if it comes late game, I can sort of effectively take a Hyper Voice from that Mega Gardevoir. It does about 30%. Next up on the Powdon Physical Wall, mainly there for Stealth Rocks. Same set as last week, Stealth Rock, Roar, Earthquake, Slack Off. Just kind of set up the rocks and come in when I need it to. Hopefully I can occasionally force out that Rotom Heat. If I get the Stealth Rocks up early, it takes 25% every time it comes in, therefore kind of diminishing its usefulness against my team. Next up, Chinchino making a return, rocking pretty much a standard set, besides that last move there, Thunder. Thunder is for the Skarmory because that is an instant switch in. I have nothing to hit it for, but I believe if I do it right, Thunder is a 2-hit KO with a Life Orb, and although Brave Bird or whatever does a lot of damage to me, I will outspeed and 2-KO with Thunder if it hits both times. I do not expect to hit it more than once, but I do want this on here just in case it becomes necessary for me to take it out late game. I probably won't be using that much. Gunk Shot for the Mega Gardevoir, already said. Bullet Seed, just for damage on that Gastrodon in case it is his physically defensive wall, and Tail Slap for everything else. Next up, we have Registeel, Jack of all trades, kind of here. Just kind of a defensive, especially defensive wall, the other being Togetic, which you can see on the screen. But just here to do as much damage as possible. It actually almost OHKOs Mega Gardevoir with Iron Head if Stealth Rocks are up. So, very effective Mega Gardevoir counter here if I can take it. Also, the Thunder Wave, it will not work on the Rotom Heat, which is why I'm carrying Rock Slide. Does not do a lot of damage, but add a Rock Slide on top of Stealth Rocks and you've got some damage. Seismic Toss hits everything else, and Thunder Wave can also be used to slow something down as a potential sweeper, such as that Superior. The only thing I'm worried about with this thing is Crocodile, and I do not believe he will bring Crocodile, but I have Hippowdon as a pretty effective counter. Next up in my Scarfer, Lucario, bringing the Scarfer this week, back. Rocking the Aura Sphere, Flash Cannon, Hidden Power Grass, of course, and Dark Pulse. I need to have Gastrodon coverage because otherwise that thing can walk all over me, and I just realized I had 32 extra EVs. I was going to put those into HP, not much use putting them into anything else. Yeah, I'm just going to keep them in HP. A little bit of the team builder process, but pretty standard special set. Hopefully, with the Scarf, this thing can outspeed pretty much everything on his team, including other Scarfers. That's why the speed is only 224 plus. But Flash Cannon for Gardevoir, Aura Sphere for damage. It only hits the Skarmory for neutral, which may be a problem, but the Skarmory only hits me for neutral, and because I'm special, I can't take any Rocket Helmet recoil, so I should be okay. He has Frost Blast, which is immunity to Aura Sphere, but I also carry Dark Pulse just in case. And I do not believe, if he brings Frostlass, I do not think it will be Scarfed. It may be Scarfed for the Victini, but in that case, it's pretty effectively handled by my Registeel. Last is Tiggy Tanky the Togetic, of course bringing Eviolite. A mixed set again, but just there to take a lot of damage whenever it needs to. I need, if that Rotom isn't Scarfed, it's not of much use to him because I can easily Revenge Co it. And if it is Scarfed, I can pretty easily play some games with Hippowdon, between Hippowdon, Registeel, and this Togetic. But Togetic, a lot of special defense, also to take Hyper Voices from that Mega Gardevoir, because those things will rip through teams. It takes it pretty well with that Eviolite. Always recovering in Soft Boiled. Toxic to do some damage. Defog in case he decides to brings those rocks, because I do need Victini to put in some work here, and getting that residual damage on me is never good. And then Seismic Toss just for damage. Alrighty, well, that about wraps it up. Brief recap. We have Victini, Hippowdon, Cinccino, Registeel, Lucario, and Togetic. Once again, we'll have the previous week's replays in the description. Sorry I couldn't see this, but my battle against Ty should be going up on Saturday, nice and clean. And with that, I will see you all later.